Hi, and welcome back to Ignite Success, where we sit down with business owners, business professionals to talk about topics like today we're going to talk about trafficking, child trafficking, with Jon Heymann, our guest.
Thank you,
Hi,
Sherrie.
Jon. Thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it. It's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, you wrote this book, Agonizing Peace.
Yes.
And, it's from childhood slavery to freedom is what it says, empowering through traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
So why did you write this book?
Well, somebody told me to write a book, so I thought I'd write a children's book. No, this is not a children's book. It would have been much easier to write a children's book. This one tackles some really rough subjects.
Yeah.
One, child trafficking. It begins with my story being trafficked in the country
You were
of Athens.
sold.
Yeah, I was sold in Athens, Greece as a child.
Wow.
Given up to the building is still there. It's called the Athens Municipal Infants Asylum. It's not called that anymore, but the building is still there. I've seen it. I've been in it. But they would drop babies off in the bread box, the box where they would put milk and bread for the children that had been dropped off by people that couldn't afford to raise their children, just would drop them off, sometimes with a note. Apparently I did not have a note, but that's where I was dropped off. And then the interesting story I didn't know till about 8 years ago is that a doctor would either tell people that would come back for the child, sometimes they came back for their own child, and they say, I dropped a kid off here 10 months ago or 2 years ago. And sometimes they would say, well, your child was either abducted by somebody or they ran away if they were old enough to run. I wasn't at the time. Or they died. So there was a death certificate. I've never seen the death certificate on me, but apparently there was one because somebody at the asylum told me that. And there's a picture of the doctor that probably did it. So once you are dead, they can do anything with you they want. So obviously whoever would come back to claim you felt like their child had died. How sad. They walk away. Now you're at the mercy of whoever does what they do to you. And my early childhood experience, my memories as a 4-year-old, 4 and 5-year-old, was being up on the Parthenon, which is that famous building on top of the Acropolis that had been half destroyed. They've been trying to renovate it for generations. But anyhow, we would go up there as little children and we would steal. We would steal either the rubble. For anybody who has traveled to Greece, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They don't let you take a stone from the Parthenon because it's worth money. Even back when I was a child, it was worth money. So you either stole stones and ran as fast as you could as a little kid, or you stole from tourists. And we had a system of doing it. We kids knew how to cite a tourist because they couldn't speak the Greek language. We would sometimes kick them in the ankle, and when they bent down, we would steal their wallets and run. And we would run to all the streets in the city of Athens and bring back whatever we had collected to whoever we were living with. In my case, I was living with a man and a woman. They remain faceless in my mind. They always have, but they didn't treat me very well. I was in a crib till I was 4 or 5 years old, in a kitchen. I don't remember a bathroom in that small little house. Obviously, the asylum either rented me or sold me, and those people would beat me up if I did not bring back enough money or enough rubble to sell.
Wow.
So that was my wonderful childhood experience. And I'll tell you something, Sherrie, when I got adopted by the wonderful Heymanns, that's my last name now. I do have a Greek name, Pondalis Koudinos, but my American name, Jon Heymann, of course, I found I guess I would call it my love family. Some people have a blood family. Some have a love family. It's wonderful if you have both. Your blood family is your love family.
Yeah.
But I at least found my love family. But it took me 2 years to let any adult touch me in America, because over in Greece, when an adult touched me, they abused me. So it took 2 years for my family, who loves to hug, for me. And I remember in Teaneck, New Jersey, stiff arms at my side, and my mom, finally, I let her hug me. But I did not raise my arms to hug her back. So, yeah, that was so I begin with that. It's not a memoir, but I begin with that story and talk about other traumatic experiences of people that I know. And how have they powered through it? How have they found peace with what has happened in their life? Because it's not fair. These things are not right. You don't treat children this way. And so how do you find peace? First with God, and also with others, and with yourself.
And you talk about that in this book.
Oh, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yep.
Jon, for coming so
you.
much. To learn more about Jon Heymann, go to iwantabuzz.com. And that's it for this segment, and I'll catch you in the next one.